VN Jar, thank you very much for joining us. Please stay with us. We have some more information. A day after India boldly executed Operation Sindoor, striking terror infrastructure across the border in retaliation for the deadly Pahalgam terror attack, the Pakistan army resorted to intense cross-border shelling in Jammu and Kashmir. During the night of May the 7th to May the 8th, Pakistani forces carried out unprovoked firing along multiple sectors of the line of control, targeting areas opposite Kupwara, Baramulla, Uli and Anknor. The shelling involved both small arms and heavy artillery. The Indian Army responded strongly and effectively to this provocation, but the damage on the ground was severe. At least 13 people, including 4 children and a soldier, were killed and 59 others were injured in what has been described as one of the most intense shellings in recent years. It devastated forward villages, damaging homes and vehicles. In panic, hundreds of civilians fled or took shelter in underground bunkers. The worst hit areas include Poonch and Rajouri in the Jammu region and Kupwara and Baramulla in North Kashmir. Under Operation Sindoor, India struck terror infrastructure deep inside Pakistan. 9 high-value targets, 4 inside Pakistan and 5 in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, were struck. We are joined by Major General Sudhakar Ji, geopolitical and strategic and defence expert located in Greece. Thank you very much, General Sudhakar Ji, for joining us in this discussion. What are you making, obviously, of this suddenly escalating situation? Obviously, Operation Sindoor occurred yesterday at approximately 1 a.m. IST. What have you made of the developments since then? Obviously, we've seen Pakistan violating the 2021 ceasefire agreement along the line of control, with mass shelling and civilians killed in the region. What are your thoughts on the ongoing situation?
Well, Thomas, good morning. Morning, it's because it's morning in Greece. And I suppose Indian Standard Time, it will be past 12 o'clock. And thank you for inviting me to NewsX News, NewsX World. And as regards the question which you have asked, I think Operation Sindoor, to my understanding, is just started. It is a very, very elementary phase, step that India has taken in phase 1. Phase 1 is going to continue for some more time. There will be more number of strikes as per my assessment, because it is now or never. Pakistan as a nation state has defied the logic of existing as a nation state in 21st century in the current international liberal rules-based order. I personally feel, it's my take, that unless we adopt the concept of Israeli concept of mow the grass and we decimate them, we address the root cause of the disease, there is no quick solution. Every time, or maybe with a gap of couple of days, we will be always attacked by the terrorists sponsored by Pakistan. So that is one part. Second part, I wish also to share through your channel. As on today, there are more than 104 terrorist organizations who are operating in Pakistan. Although the International Studies of Strategic Affairs in DC, Washington keeps giving out an annual report. The latest report I have not been privy to. Last to 2024, if I recall correctly, there are a total of 67 recorded international terrorist organizations operating in the world, out of which 12 are registered and recorded who are operating in Pakistan. I am not commenting on Pakistan's previous Prime Minister Imran Khan, who number of times to CNN channel, he said that Pakistan is being attacked by 50 terrorist groups. Why is it happening? Anyone who gives birth and nurtures the terrorists in their country will always remind the statement of Hillary Clinton, who said that if you nurture and grow the snakes in your backyard, don't be surprised. But they need not actually attack or bite the neighbor only. They may also turn around and bite you. So the phase has come. Pakistan has to take a tough, meaningful, substantive, long call whether they wish to carry on with terrorism as proxy war against India. So towards that end, Thomas, I personally feel the phase one, partial part of the phase one is over. The second part, I've been sitting with the channels of since morning. I believe there has been some interdiction carried out on terrorist camps and infrastructure close to Lahore, close to other places, Nasirabad, also Sialkot, where we had very accurate information and intelligence about the terrorist camps, the presence of terrorists. Bahawalpur was addressed yesterday out of those 9, and Bahawalpur, there are 8,000 Hamas, reportedly. I don't have evidence to prove, but I have been reading from the open sources. 8,000 Hamas had come to Bahawalpur for undergoing training. And like Group Captain Jha, the previous panelist who brought out very accurately, Bahawalpur and Muridke, they are known for, one is for the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the other is for Jaish-e-Mohammed, and Hizbul Mujahideen there at Muzaffarabad. So whichever information was accurate and available with us, after very extensive deliberation, they have been engaged with precision accuracy and with no collateral damage. Excessive, I would say, ultimate restraint has been exercised by the government of the Indian Armed Forces so as to not allow the present situation to escalate beyond a point and lead us towards a full-blown war. India does not want a all-out war against Pakistan. We want to neutralize these threats which are time and again attacking our innocent, unarmed tourists going on visit to Jammu and Kashmir and elsewhere in the country. Last but not the least, Thomas, is that I think the world has to understand what Pakistan is. There is a greater need to isolate this country in terms of, by supporting India. India must target the command, control, communication, coordination, intelligence, surveillance, the economic mechanism or the financial vertical which is supporting the terrorism network, and also by non-kinetic and kinetic means, it must address them till they're decimated. And so much so, I won't hesitate to say Pakistan as a nation state does not deserve to stay as a nation in 21st century. It deserves to attract all kinds of countermeasures so as to ensure that balkanization is actually waiting to happen in Pakistan. Let Pakistan as a name as such not exist on the map of world. That's what my personal conviction is. It doesn't deserve any kind of sympathy by any country today. India is very determined and also full of resolve. We will handle Pakistan even if the whole world falls apart, doesn't come along with India. We'll sort it out now or never.
Yes, Major General Sakadar Kharji, I just wanted to pinpoint on something, and as well as a war of militaries, this also seems to be a war of information. Conflicting statements seem to be reoccurring. One being the fact that Pakistan says only 31 people have been killed in its strikes, whereas India has released intelligence saying over 100 have been killed. What are your thoughts on the current discourse in regards to information when it comes to this war? Not just a war with strikes and weapons, but also a war of words and claims.
Yes, that's a very strong point you have made. I tend to agree with you. Information warfare is the modern warfare in 21st century, or part of hybrid or irregular warfare that most of us are familiar with. And Pakistan is good at information warfare. That is where in the other channel a couple of minutes back, I was recommending to the government of India that this is one component that India has to bear in mind. We need to strategize our approach. We need to have countermeasures in place. And when you talk about the information warfare, like they will always say 31 or nobody is a casualty. And my figure since morning, I have been carrying out a rough calculation. If you take these three camps, training camps, one at Bahawalpur, another one is Muridke, the third one is Hizbul Mujahideen at Muzaffarabad. Bahawalpur alone had, as per my calculation, including the 8,000 Hamas, is going beyond 12,000 plus. So if the primary targets have been engaged with precision, if not more, my calculation says with a conservative figure, in one camp alone, anything more than 500 have been actually neutralized. So even if that sounds like an exaggeration, I am sure and certain that in one camp alone, there are more than 100 terrorists who have been neutralized. You go to Muridke, that's the lifeline, that is the
Yes.
center of gravity of Lashkar-e-Toiba. And they have a huge concentration. It's not only a
Major
training camp,
General
it is a
Sudhakar ji, I do apologise, I have to cut you off as we are coming in with some breaking news now.